The pandemic hit. You lost your job. You collected CERB for a little while. Then you said, something's got to change. So you decided to become a realtor. Sound familiar? Maybe not. Maybe it's been your lifelong dream. Maybe you saw how hot the market's gotten and you want in. Or maybe you found an internet guru who told you the path to personal wealth is through real estate investment. I can show you how for the low, low price of $1 million. Whatever the case may be, we all have to go through the same steps to get there. Hey guys, my name is Morgan Little. I'm a Toronto-based realtor and real estate investor, and this video is all about how you become a licensed realtor in Ontario.
Yeah, Mo Littles, what's good? It's true. Yeah, I'm only here for the night, so baby, let's do this right, cause you know that I'll be gone in the morning.
First off, welcome to the channel. If you haven't already subscribed, pummel that little red bouton and let's get into it. Now myself, I've always been a musician, and when that all-powerful virus changed our world forever, I was no longer able to tour. So it was actually a pretty natural path for myself since I'd already been into real estate investing for a while. But that's enough about me. Unless you want to hear more, click that link right up there or there, wherever it is. Shameless promo. Okay, you're sitting at your computer asking yourself, how do I go about getting my real estate license? What are the steps involved? How much will it cost? Well, it's actually pretty straightforward and simple, to be honest. Not easy, but simple if you're committed and willing to follow through with it. Now, keep in mind, there's something like 80,000 realtors in Ontario, and probably only about 20% of them are actually active and making money. So I implore you, please, before you go and spend all the money on taking these courses, decide if it's something you really want to do. Okay, now that you've committed, where do we start? Well, the training to become a licensed realtor in Ontario up until recently was offered by ORIA, the Ontario Real Estate Association, but since then has been taken over by Humber College. I took the course during lockdown, so everything was done online, and that may change in the future, but I imagine now that they have that all set up, it will remain online, except maybe the exams will go back to in-person exams, potentially. Comment below if you notice that that does happen. The program itself consists of 5 courses, 4 exams, 2 simulation sessions. You have up to 24 months to complete it. Myself, I took about 8 months. I did have to take a month off for shoulder surgery, but other than that, I studied pretty much every day. And I quickly learned after probably the second course, which is by far the biggest, that for myself, I no longer needed to read every single slide word for word. I would kind of skim through the material, get the gist of what was being said, and then I would use Pass It to help me study for the exam. Pass It is a fantastic tool, but more on that later. With that being said, I had some prior knowledge and experience, so this is what worked for me. I in no way recommend that you skip over any of the course material if you don't know the first thing about real estate. I'll delve deeper into course content in the future videos, so for now, let's just discuss the process of getting your license. So, getting to the material is the very important first step. But even before you complete all of the courses, I recommend reaching out to brokerages, having conversations, giving you an idea of what's out there. Ask around. There's tons of Facebook groups where you can find out from others what their experience has been at different brokerages. And find a culture that is a good fit for you. That's really the most important thing, I believe. I ended up going with Chase Realty because early on in my studies, I joined their First Steps program, and it was a tremendous resource for me. The Chase Realty First Steps program is a weekly Zoom meetup where you can ask questions you may have about the program or about the reality of being a realtor once you're finished. It's really developed since I first started taking it. It's expanded to different topics in different rooms for different people at different stages in their studies. I really can't say enough good things about it. The support was incredible, and I didn't run into anything else like it in my journey. I liked it so much that I ended up joining the brokerage. So how's that for a testimonial? If you're a student who's interested in joining the First Steps program, send me an email or a DM and I'll get you linked up to it right away. Trust me, it's such a great help on your journey to becoming a licensed real estate salesperson in Ontario. Like I said, I can't say enough about it. Send me an email, morganlittlerealestate@gmail.com. Okay, so here is the breakdown of the requirements and the costs associated with getting your license. Number one, you must be a Canadian resident. So that's a citizen, permanent resident, or have a work permit. You got to be Canadian. Second, you must be at least 18 years of age. And third, you must have a high school diploma or equivalency. Fourth, I don't know if it's actually a rule, but I recommend being proficient in English. Doesn't have to be your first language, but obviously you want to be fairly well spoken when working in this industry. Step one, the pre-registration phase. Pre-registration phase. There we go. You have 24 months to complete it. The cost is $3,590. That includes the 5 courses, 4 exams, and 2 simulation sessions that I had mentioned before. Step 2 is the post-registration phase, and that is a cost of $570. You have up to 2 years once you're licensed to complete that phase. And that is a total cost of $4,160 for your education. And that is it. That's all. Just joking. Yeah, there's plenty of other fees. I mean, this is Ontario, right? And the other fees are program application. It's a non-refundable fee of $75. There's also an exam retake fee of $100 if you do fail an exam. Simulation exam retake of $50 if you fail a simulation exam. There's a $50 fee if you need to move an exam date. There's also a fee for these facilitated sessions of $180 to $280. I never took those, so I can't really speak to them, but I believe you could take that if you just felt like you needed a bit more help. And then there is Pass It, which I mentioned earlier. It's a study guide, kind of separate. You go to passit.ca, and it's about $40 per course. Not something you have to do, but I highly recommend it. It's a great study guide. There's also something called Cram It, which I didn't use, so cram that, but I know other people have. Once you're done with the education portion, you get to register with RECO. RECO is the Real Estate Council of Ontario. That is a cost of $590. You'll join your brokerage first, whichever brokerage you decide to choose, and they will submit on your behalf. Should take about 2 weeks, I'm told. However, I'm currently in my 4th week waiting, but I'm sure it'll come any day now, right? And along with that, you need to submit a police check. That'll cost anywhere from $20 to $40, depending on where you get it from. And then there is a $390 renewal fee with RECO every 2 years. Okay, moving on. Organized real estate. You don't have to join organized real estate, but I mean, if you want to continue to live on the fringes of society, maybe go be a used car salesman, am I right? Huh? Yeah, okay. So CREA stands for the Canadian Real Estate Association. When I hear other people say it, I always hear Korea. So I really like to say CREA as one word, ipso facto. So CREA has a $200 initiation fee, and then it's about $100 per year after that. Then you have Orillia, which is the Ontario Real Estate Association. Again, another $200 initiation fee, and then a $100 annual fee. Add to that your errors and omissions insurance fee. That's $440 per year, and you get that through RECO. It's a must-have. Next, you'll decide which board you're going to join. This will generally be dictated by where you live. I'm based in Toronto, so I will be joining TREB, the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. The TREB one-time fee of $460 plus the annual fee of $860 brings the total to $1,320. Side note, I'll also be joining the Oakville board so that I can have access to other parts of Ontario because the Toronto Real Estate Board apparently doesn't like to share with others. I'm not going to open that can of worms, but from what I can tell, it's been long standing that there's been no meeting of the minds between Toronto and everyone else. Now let's do the math on all of that, and it looks like the cost to get your real estate license in Ontario will be roughly $7,000. There are a few variables that make the cost differ per individual, but that gives you a pretty good idea of what to budget for. If there's anything I didn't cover, please leave it in the comments. If I forgot anything, if I made any mistakes, let me know. And if you have any questions at all, I'll be happy to answer them. This is Morgan Little, Toronto Realtor, Sudbury investor, vintage toy collector, hip-hop connoisseur, golden doodle dad, and all-around good guy signing off. Until next time, stay hungry, Canada. Did you hear about the last remaining unit in the apartment building? It was last but not least,